Welcome to Coaching Minutia. My name is Nick Carruthers. I am your host. Today is our first time having a guest on the show, and we're excited to have our guest today. I can't wait for you to introduce her, for you all to meet her. She's like family to me, and the whole point of this podcast is to become a better community for each other as coaches, give more insight to parents and athletes, and give them the athlete a place to shine when we do highlights for them later on in the series. So excited to have you here today. We're bringing our guest today, Gabby. Gabby, how are you, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Good to
It's good to
see you.
see
Good to
you.
see you.
Life is good.
That's
Life is good.
that's good. That's
Life is
good.
good. I'm happy to be on the show. My big brother, man. I'm excited. So
Man, I'm excited. I'm
awesome.
excited you was able to make it here. You made your
Mhm.
hour 10-minute drive to come see us.
Mhm.
But we super happy to have you here.
Mhm.
So tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself.
So I am from Kokomo, Indiana. Played at Kokomo. Went to Indiana State. Didn't play. Worked with the team. Eventually got my bachelor's from there. Got my master's from Indiana State as well, where I was then a coach at Rose Holman, about 15 minutes up the street from Indiana State. And then was able to work my way up, and now I'm the head coach of Richmond High School. So
Got you. And how's Richmond treating you? Treating you well?
Richmond, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I got the job last year in August, so I didn't really get a chance to have a summer with my girls, but we had a great season. We went 12-12, graduated 6 seniors, and now I'm going into my second year. We're a young team, but I'm excited. Richmond's been pretty good.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you were able to make it. More than anything, a lot of podcasts talk about X's and O's
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
schemes they're running. We kind of want to get into the details or the minutia, for another
Mhm.
lack another term, of just coaching period, of
Mhm.
our life work balance,
Mhm.
of how it is to impart yourself into a child and
Mhm.
give them the best of you every day. You know how I feel coaching is a service.
Mhm.
It's giving of oneself for the betterment of someone else's child.
Mhm.
And the hardest part about that is sometimes
Mhm.
um, what you do as your career or your passion, people only see as what you do on game day,
Oh my gosh, yes.
or
Yes.
does their child get this offer that they
Uh-huh.
desire? And it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more serving and being there what the child needs more than anything.
Mhm.
So, first question, hit you
Okay,
with,
go
Coach.
ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
tell me about your background as not just a coach, but getting into sports in general,
Mhm.
basketball. Who was that coach for you? Who was that person for you? Where you played, those type of
Mhm.
things.
So the coach for me, his name is Jason Snyder. He is now a principal actually at Kokomo, but
Okay.
he was my head coach for all not all 4 years, but all 3 years. But he was someone that was pretty influential with the game, the sisterhood we tried to build, but also the importance of sports. I started playing basketball maybe fifth, sixth grade, but he was at almost every game. I knew he was the varsity head coach, so everything I did had to be amazing. But people like him made it exciting to want to play the game, but also be a part of sports because it made you competitive.
Mm,
Leadership, just wanting to be better.
got you.
But yeah,
So shout out Coach Snyder
yep.
then. Shout
Coach
out Coach
Snyder, yeah.
Snyder.
Coach Snyder, yeah.
Maybe we'll be able to have him on at the
Yes,
podcast one day.
yeah.
Okay, so into the make you want to be better part, did you ever see yourself as a head coach, coaching a high school team as a head coach?
Wow, actually, I did not. I wanted to actually play in the WNBA. That was
Okay.
my goal. But I realized when I was working with Indiana State's team, so I was assistant recruiting coordinator. I helped out with a lot of Dobo work as an undergrad.
Hmm.
So I knew then if I couldn't play, I had to transform or transition to another field, and that makes
Right.
sense.
Right.
And I just fell in love with coaching as I was around the collegiate level.
Yeah.
I didn't think high school was for me till I got to high school,
Got you.
and then you realize it is a service.
It is.
When helping young girls get to college is a passion as well of mine.
Yeah.
So
And the game is still so pure
yes,
at the high school level. There's not a lot of there's some political, obviously.
yes, yeah,
There's some details of coaching, like having to have real conversations with not just with players but with families.
yes,
With the guardians of your players
yes.
about where she is, about what she
Mm-hmm.
needs, and sometimes those conversations aren't the
No,
most happy for
Happiest.
some
Yeah.
people. People always ask you all the time, tell me the truth.
Mhm.
Be honest with me. Don't sell me short,
Mhm.
or don't sugarcoat it.
Mhm.
And then you do, and it's not what they want to hear.
Mhm.
And I have a mantra that I try to live by. I'm
Mhm.
not perfect at it, but
Mhm.
live the truth, tell the truth, and accept the truth.
Ooh, I gotta take
As
that.
as an adult, it's hard to do all
Ooh.
three as an adult. So asking a child to do that
Yeah.
is super, super hard for
Yeah.
them to be able to do that. And then knowing that maybe the same thing you're asking a child to do, maybe the adult in their life, maybe just
Right.
like you as an adult,
Right.
struggles with certain parts and aspects of that. And as a parent, you see the best of your child.
Yeah.
You always see the things that they do
Yeah.
great, and that's what you want. You do get those parents that sometimes a little too hard,
Mhm.
too hard on
Mhm.
their kid. You got to kind of pull
Mhm.
them back, like, mom and dad,
Mhm.
let her develop, let her struggle,
Yes.
allow her to grow through that struggle.
Yes.
But
Allow her to fail.
oh man,
Allow her to fail.
it's a lot of our kids, their definition of success
Mhm.
is only the highlights that they see in social media.
Ooh.
Their definition of success is the likes and the shares and
Yes.
the comments in those spaces from peers and from other people from outside who really don't know what happens
Mhm.
behind the closed doors before you get to that highlight.
Mhm.
And the parents, they don't realize that they're a big part of creating those
Yes.
highlights
Yes.
with the discipline that they give their
Yes.
child, with the ability to allow somebody else to impart into their child,
Mhm.
with not forcing them to go to the gym, but giving them the understanding of the importance
Yes.
of putting in that work,
Work. Yep.
when nobody's looking, when you're not
Mhm.
in practice,
Mhm.
when your coach is saying, hey, make sure you go to
Mhm.
weights,
Mhm.
those type of things. Um,
Mhm.
Man, it's so important. It's
Mhm.
so important. So, but back to you. We
No, you're
got off
fine.
on
No,
you
you
know how
know,
we
no,
get
it's
off on the
good.
tangent.
That was
We
good.
get to go.
No, but to even get back to that, I think that's the bigger thing is one, we're all human, but when you're the parents, they want their kids to be the best. They want their kids to shine and just do well, but we forget the back end of what it takes to be successful.
Yeah,
You know, you just talked about it, putting in the work behind closed doors.
yeah,
When you're playing other teams, you can tell the ones that are putting in the work.
yeah,
It's natural.
yeah.
They have it. But also the parents play. It plays a role with parents on will you allow your child to fail to be successful?
Man, I told you about my parent meeting that we had at the beginning of
Uh
the year. We have another one. So we have one at the beginning of preseason.
huh.
So
Okay.
workouts are starting, conditioning, weights. Your kid's running on the track. Your kid
Mhm.
is, I got them running hills, or
Oh
flipping
man, yeah,
tires, or
yeah,
we running stairs, stadium stairs in the
yeah.
football field. And we're recording all of this stuff.
Mhm.
The kid doesn't know that it's being recorded, but the
Mhm.
football cameras is on because
Mhm.
football practice is going too.
Mhm.
So I go watch that. I
Mhm.
go watch those areas of where your kid is struggling. So I have a baseline of this is where she hit a wall.
Yes.
Just in a linear run. This is where
Yes.
she hit a wall. Okay, not talking about jumping vertical. We're not talking about
Right.
communicating while you're on the floor. We're not talking about lateral movement, playing
Right.
defense, being physical. We're just talking about a straight, here's a
Mhm.
lap. Here's
Mhm.
an Indian run. What you look
Mhm.
like in this Indian run. What's the
Mhm.
pace look like when you leading it?
Mhm.
Those type of things is the details that us coaches are looking at to know
Yes.
how to better serve our kids.
Yes.
What I would love for our parents to see is that there's so much more than the game, that I'm in the game, that I'm just drawing up a
Yes.
play for your kid to get a shot,
Yes.
because maybe she's been in the game for 5 or 6 minutes and she don't have legs for me to draw this for her right now,
Ooh.
but she's important, so I got to keep her on the
Right.
floor.
Right.
I got to let her play through that fatigue a little bit, especially at the
Right.
beginning of the season. At the
Right.
beginning of the season, you're in shape, but you're
Mhm.
not in shape you're gonna be in January.
Mhm. Mhm.
November and
Yeah.
January look real different
Yes, it
if you're
does.
really pushing your team the way they need to
Yes, it
be.
does.
So I say ATO, and I'm drawing up a
Mhm.
play, and I'm drawing up a play for who's freshest and who I can trust in that
There
moment.
you go. Who can execute?
Who can execute in that moment. Who
Mhm.
maybe not who's the most talented, but where
Mhm.
we are on the floor, where that inbound is going to be at.
Mhm.
Who's inbounding the ball to the
Mhm.
person you want to have the ball
Mhm.
to, like you said, to execute. There's a lot of parts of that I don't think that people see from the outside.
Mhm.
You know,
The
uh,
biggest thing too, Nick, is the mental part. Talking about preseason and you guys are flipping tires and everything else. Imagine how many the mental it takes to go through true conditioning, which what you're putting them through,
yeah,
but also to sustain that mentality every day when you show up.
preach, preach,
You
coach.
know, and then you have to now you're in preseason. Is that mentality still the same?
Right.
And you've been on the court 5-6 minutes and you're tired, you have to reflect back to, hey, we've been working on this, we've been doing this, you're prepared for this.
Yeah.
It's a mentality that you try to prepare them for. And I think a lot of times they kids are, they can be pushed. Um, it's just a mentality you have to ingrain in them early on what you're trying to accomplish, because once they graduate, they have to take that with them for life. We're really teaching them life skills right now.
Yeah.
A lot of parents, they understand it, they get it in that moment. We're looking farther on, and they're in the moment.
Yeah.
With my child,
I think of it like this. Every coach is different.
Yes.
Every parent is different.
Yes.
And how you parent your child, how you raise your child is the way God has given you to raise your child, But if you're trusting me with your child's development, not just as a ball player, but as a woman,
yeah,
trusting my staff, obviously I'm trying to hire as many women on my staff as possible, because I know a lot of X's and O's, but I don't know how to be a woman and navigate the game.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I have you as a leader, you want to hire people that do things better than you. So this coach might do this better than me. That coach might do this better than me. This coach might give me a perspective that I just didn't see. I don't look at the game the same way she or he looks at the game. I need their perspective of it to be the betterment of your child. Okay. So different ways to get different things. So same thing with your preseason when you're trying to. I say I'm trying to get the right people on the bus.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Trying to get the right people on the bus that's going to be ride or die the entire season.
Yep.
And in that, there are different methods that we use to push them physically, mentally, emotionally. So I have a former player. This young lady will work out so hard in off-season and preseason workout. I mean, she's leading every run. She's giving energy through the lifts. She's giving support to her teammates and just being the vocal and example leader that you want.
Yeah.
But the first day we hit the court and you got the bags out.
Yeah.
And you ain't got no whistle because you ain't calling no fouls right now.
Yeah.
So you're teaching the concept. They're going through the concept. You're allowing them to grow through the concept. 5-on-0 or 2-on-0 or 3-on-0, whatever it is. And then you get into that small-sided games in your practice, and somebody hits that person for the first time, and that all that rah-rah go out the window.
How will they react?
How will they react? Because now I know you got fouled. You know you got fouled.
Right.
She knows she fouled you, you know what I mean? But nobody called no foul, nobody said anything. And now, what are you gonna do with that? Knowing that you were not in the wrong, that this happened to you. I always tell them it's not what happens to you. It's how you respond to it that defines the type of woman you're gonna be. Not just on this court, but in life. And a lot of things, I mean, for us as coaches, a lot of things happen to us throughout the season.
Yes.
How you're gonna respond to it. I flash back to 2021. It's the summer of 2021, and we're burying my grandmother. She passed. Ruby Carruthers, great woman. A lot of her teachings, as the matriarch of our family, direct how I treat the young women that I serve. Because she was a no nonsense woman that was delicate but direct. It's hard to be both.
Oh yeah,
hard to be both.
To balance it. Yeah, seriously.
She would put her arms around you and be there for you, but she would also tell you the truth in the way that you could receive it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like sitting in her presence, was sitting in church and the pastor saying something to the congregation, but he feel like he talking
to
directly
you, right to you.
That's how grandma was to me. And love her so much for that. But she just taught me how to be honest with somebody in the way that they'll receive it. They may not like what you're saying, especially at the time. They may not like what you say at the time, but they respect you for it because you told them the truth. And hopefully it'll help direct their life later on. So you got that player that's having this great energy and great effort and going hard in your preseason, and you get that first open gym and they're ready to crash out on you, coach, because you're not calling the fouls that what happened, that she knows happened, that the girl fouling knows happened, and the other girl, she coach ain't calling no fouls.
Right.
He's letting us hoop.
They going at it, and
it's usually the upper class.
Right.
We've been through it this one or two times. That underclassmen been going super hard, and now you're like, all right, it's first day. I gotta hoop now. I want to keep my spot. I know coach don't do favoritism. I know coach don't do seniority. I got to put my work in, and then she hits her. To see what that response is going to be. What do you do to that coach? What do you say to that player?
Nick, that's it's different for me. So one thing you guys need to understand, Nick is seasoned. Okay, Nick's seen a lot, and he's experienced a lot. But Nick, the biggest thing is, I guess I would say relationships.
Oh yeah, that's it, coach.
Because I feel like you could lose a player that way by not. You want to push your players, Nick. You want them to understand the importance of how to react to certain things, but if they don't receive it when you're going hard in practice, you're not calling fouls.
Yes,
It's different.
yeah,
Having that relationship with that player, and you're not calling the fouls, and they're looking at you like, okay, what are we about to do? Are you going to help me out in this situation? You know,
yes,
and you're being quiet, just let it happen, and then you explain at the end why this happened and why you're allowing it is different compared to your relationship with that player. You know, um, I had we were in June ball this past season. I had a referee that watched our sectional game against Greenfield Central. We had won, and he had said, "I that was the calmest I've ever seen a coach who wasn't getting the right calls the entire game."
Oh, they know too.
Oh yes, oh
they
yes.
They know too.
So my players heard it, especially my older players, and I just smiled because some things you can't control, but how you react,
how you respond,
how you respond matters.
Yeah.
You know, so to kind of put two and two together, I had to be that example. So when they're going hard and things are happening, they don't like it, and it's just not going their way, and it's new, and they're getting hit, and not used to it. Um, Being that example in relationships is big.
Yeah,
it's big.
It's hard too.
Yeah,
it's hard to, especially if, like you said, if the relationship is super important.
Mm-hmm.
And us both being at 4A schools, we have
Yes.
the biggest schools. You have a lot of kids in your program.
Yes.
You know, some kids come up through your program,
Mm-hmm.
but like you and I, at this particular school, we haven't been there more than 5 years.
Right.
I've been coaching over 20 years.
Right.
But being at this school more than 5 years is totally different because you don't know the kids in your feeder program.
Right.
You know, so this particular child, you know, to what you said, the relationship wasn't the strongest relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm-hmm.
in my younger years, in the middle of the workout, I'm calling that kid out.
Uh-huh.
Instead of calling that kid up, I'm
calling
that kid out. Two different things, right?
Yes.
I'm calling that kid out. Toughen up, or be strong, or, you know.
Yeah.
But
your season, Nick. Your season.
Now,
yeah.
I had this happen this year. A situation like that this year. After the drill is over, she's out of the drill. You know, drill might still be going. My coaches are running the drill. I go over to her. I pull her to the side, and we just walk. And I ask her, "Tell me what you're feeling," because what she's feeling and what I see might be two different things. Might be something going on that had nothing to do with basketball. But my younger self, I'd have been like, "What you doing?" You know, like, "Get up off the floor. You're good." And now it's like, what's going on? Are you good? You know, how was your day? You know, am I pushing you too hard right now? And letting her, okay, what do you need from me? That'll also tell me areas that she needs to grow as a player and areas she needs to go as a communicator.
Like, that is so huge. Calling her up and not out.
Man,
do you know how mind changing that is?
It took a lot of failures though. Took a lot of failures on my part, and especially if it's a top player. Yeah, you know, you have some players. You have top core group of kids, right? You know, we always say we dress 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Some coaches say 9. Now I say dress 8. Okay. Then you have your couple swing kids that you dress because you want them to develop. You want to give them opportunity. So you might have 10 in the jersey, but the ones you're playing, you dress in 8. Okay. You're playing 7 solid minutes, but you trust 6.
That's the way it is.
And they have earned that.
Yes.
It's not our choice.
Yes.
It's those kids that you're seeing go through the mental, go through the physical, that show up every day. Your best ability is availability.
Yeah.
Ooh. Your best ability is availability.
You got to put that on a shirt, man. You got to put that on a shirt. That's huge.
It's not even loud. I can't hear. I can't remember where I heard it from. But it's just like your job. I can't pay you if you're not present.
Yes. Yes.
And payment for our players is their playing time and the freedom you allow them in your structured offense.
Yep.
You know, like I said, if you had a relationship,
Yeah.
if you're not there,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not, you got to perform
Mm-hmm.
too. We stat practice. I stat
Mm-hmm.
practice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm statting everything.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers,
Mm-hmm.
your push up. How many push ups you did in the push up drill?
Mm-hmm.
Did you touch every line?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Everything matters.
and they think I'm crazy. They think I'm
Everything
crazy.
matters.
Then I call them out. I've done this before. I called them out the next practice as a group. All right, you did 7. You did, and they
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, I watched the film.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the practice film. This is what I'm doing for 6 months out of the year.
Wow.
I'm falling asleep on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm streaming my practice to my TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing too, Nick. So our season, September to about February, March, the time we're putting in, even as a cook, we're still human, Nick.
Yeah.
So a couple times I have to catch myself sometime during my own practices to understand not so much it's okay to fail, because it is okay to fail,
Yeah.
but giving ourselves grace because we're putting in so much work.
Yes.
And you try to find that balance on coaching, how our personal, because sometimes we might, like you said, you might be thinking something different than what she's feeling.
Right. Right.
So figuring out the balance part of that, because we are human.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say we can expect so much out of the kids. We have to make sure we're also available mentally as well.
Do you prepare your kids for the different versions of yourself?
Woo, Nick. You know what, Nick? Explain that. Okay. I probably don't, and I need to get better at that. But
I realize
that's huge.
I just realized this a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. This is my last year at Tinley.
Mm-hmm.
That's
huge.
I'm a different person on game day than I am practice day.
Uh-huh.
And because I was that player as well,
mm-hmm.
I was always one of the smaller players,
mm-hmm.
Super athletic, but not as talented.
Mm-hmm.
I was not as talented as the people around me.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I had a job to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
In whatever sport, I had a job to do. But when it come to game day, I would go at the game with a type of edge
mm-hmm.
or anger,
mm-hmm.
not at my teammates or anything like that, but
mm-hmm.
I have to beat you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just beat you.
Yeah.
I want you to leave and say, I never want to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
I got to destroy you. So on game day, I'm bad with facial expressions,
mm-hmm.
coach. Terrible with
mm-hmm.
my facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the game face all day.
Mm-hmm.
And so my players started asking me, Coach, you good? You good? So they try to take my temperature. They trying to make sure, just like I try to reach them the right way.
Yeah.
Now they start checking on me.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, you good? You all right, Coach? Yeah, I'm good. I'm just locked in. I tell them all the time, I'm just locked in. I need you to get locked in. I need you to get where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize, especially this generation of players,
mm-hmm. It's different.
They not like us
Mm-mm.
when it comes to that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Fun wasn't in my mind.
Uh-huh.
Winning was the fun part.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Fun wasn't in my mind, getting hype before the game. Yeah, it happened, but I was more in my mode where I got, Kevin Garnett. Shout out to Kevin Garnett in his podcast, KG Certified. I listened to it. He talks about where he has to go dragon mode,
mm-hmm.
where where he has to get serious,
mm-hmm.
or he has to lock in,
mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, now I gotta kill you.
Yeah.
That's how I am as a coach.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the other players I'm coaching against. It's the other man or woman on the other side of the side.
There you go.
We're gonna be cordial. I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna say how you doing. But when the whistle blow,
mm-hmm.
now it's my mind versus your mind.
Mm-hmm.
We playing chess.
Mm-hmm.
Or basketball chess. Yeah, locked in. I'm locked in. So
no pun intended. There you go. Yeah.
And we can be cool and hang out later.
Yeah.
But right now I gotta kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm doing this for the girls that have been working.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I put them through.
Yes.
I know that they dealt with my craziness for 6 days of the week, for all preseason and off season. I know what I put them through, what I've asked our strength and conditioning coach
mm-hmm.
to put them through,
mm-hmm.
that they don't like. The discipline I'm trying to give for their
mm-hmm.
life so that they can get what they want
mm-hmm.
is that highlight
mm-hmm.
or that point total
mm-hmm.
or that win.
That's real.
It's but preparing your kid for that version of yourself,
mm-hmm.
I had to start doing that because I
mm-hmm.
would freak them out.
So what does that look like then? Because that's huge. I never thought about that.
I would start doing like live game situations in practice where I'm not coaching. Where I give 2 teams, try to even the teams out, and give them to my assistant. So now
Mm-hmm.
I don't have I have one assistant here.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Chantel Post and Anna Munn,
Mm-hmm.
which they have moved on from
Mm-hmm.
coaching with me. Chantel, congratulations on your coaching job,
Mm-hmm.
your head coaching job, and
Mm-hmm.
Anna's with her. You know, they played for me, and
Mm-hmm.
they knew I was like that too. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
played professional ball for me, and but I would give each one of them a team, and they the couple coaches here, a couple coaches there. They got a group. All right, this is what we tell coaches. This is what we're working on. Y'all coach those teams,
Mm-hmm.
and now I don't have a team to coach
Mm-hmm.
right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hard on both sides of the ball
Mm-hmm.
every possession, and I'm pacing around the court like a
Mm-hmm.
caged tiger,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I'm like, destroy her, go at
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
downhill. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Put your body on her,
Yeah.
hit somebody,
Uh-huh.
like so that they see me not directly at them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not mad at me, or
Right.
he's just like hype.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I tell him like, this is me on game day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad. I'm not angry. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be the best version of me for you. Because if
Mm-hmm.
she comes to that sideline as a
Uh-huh.
coach, come on
Yeah.
now.
No.
You
Yeah.
in the game,
Yeah.
you're getting smacked. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it might not be a big score. You
Uh-huh.
know, it
But
might just
still.
be 3 possessions in a row where you got to call that timeout as a coach.
Yep.
And she needs an answer from you.
Mm-hmm.
She needs a solution to a problem. She is losing
Mm-hmm.
doing her job. You are employing her to do her job.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, things are not working out the way y'all plan for things to work out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a plan for her when she comes to that sideline and look at you in the face,
Mm-hmm.
she ain't gonna trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And a man that doesn't as a man,
Mm-hmm.
a man that does not have a plan for your woman, she's not with you.
There you go.
Or will not be with you long.
Yeah.
So you better have a plan for her.
Yeah.
You know, you better have an understanding of how to deliver that plan to
Yeah.
her so that she accepts it and champions her role in that plan.
Mm-hmm.
Man, shoot, girl.
Well, and your team also takes on your demeanor.
Yeah.
You know, so you having that KG demeanor of the drag, all that, wanting to go out there and dominate, they'll take that and put it on the floor, you know. But if your demeanor isn't always wanting to win or be competitive, it shows within that, you know. So even doing like that, like you talked about with your practices, that's huge for me. And I know, okay, I can take that, put that in my repertoire now on how to make them better, make them more competitive, you know. I want my assistants to be able to have that role while I'm able to look and see different things as well.
Well,
so.
I told you how I kind of broke up this year's workout.
Okay, yes,
you know,
yes. That's mind boggling to me as well on your thought process with that.
So let's go into detail.
Yes.
So Chad understands exactly what we're talking about. You know, every you have 5 players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I put 5 basically pods.
Mm-hmm.
5 pods. Each of my assistant coaches has a small group, of 4 kids at the most in that pod. Where at the beginning of every practice, they come in, they're doing their individuals, just like you would a college workout. You got your stuff from me as a coach that I've sat down with each player. This is what you need to be working on before practice starts. You should be in the sweat already.
Yes.
Practice starts 4:10. You're on the court with that assistant coach, and you're going through what me and that coach have talked about your group needs to be working on for this concept, for this particular practice. So they're getting small parts too. And I am challenging those coaches to be better than the other coaches. So they're competing against their colleagues.
Right.
And I'm judging them. I'm judging, and I'm telling those coaches, I am evaluating you. Is your group vocal? Is your group aggressive? Is your fast pace? What's it look like? You know, and I'm telling the girls, all right, whoever's group has got the most energy in this 20-minute segment, you don't have to run this first sprint. Oh man, they talking. They talking. Yeah, all the claps in the world, but this is the energy that we want to exude at all times, right? Whether it's JV varsity or freshman, you know. Going into that mode right from the jump with my staff to be competitive. Now it's kind of a trickle down. I want to empower the people that are served with me.
Yes.
You know,
they
empower the kid, and then we all become powerful in that, right? The program become powerful. But breaking that up, coach, making them compete, the coaches against each other every day.
My God.
Oh yeah. And we were even doing sprints. We were about to do it this week, about to run a mile. We're doing times. You know, what did that look like for your group? You know what I mean? So
That's
Uh,
huge.
super important. Give me
And now you
this.
got them excited about it, and now they competing because they want their person to win. Now it's flowing to your kids, and you can't
Right,
beat
right,
that.
right.
Can't beat that.
Yes,
Can't beat
absolutely.
that.
So
Wow.
yeah, coach, that is the biggest that was the biggest thing for us
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
was with that. Okay, so
Mhm.
back to your program, back to
Mhm.
your team, preparing your team
Mhm.
for game days, preparing your team for, let's just say, our scrimmage.
Mhm.
What's that looking like right now for you? How is that going? You've had a couple days of in the gym.
Mhm.
How y'all looking, coach?
So we are, like I said, very young. I have a lot of freshmen. I was like, when you graduate 16 years, a lot of people will tell you, "Oh, now you're rebuilding,"
Yeah.
and we are, which is a good thing because we're so young. Right now we're going 4 days a week because we are young, so we're lifting every all 4 days, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays we're doing mainly basketball. We still
Okay.
get a good lift in though. Our scrimmage, of course, November 1st. We play Lawrence Central. We're super excited, just because it's competition. So when you are in Richmond, we have a lot of county schools, 1A, 2A, 3A. I think we're
Right.
like the only 4A actually in the area.
Got you. So you
Um,
got to travel to play
yes,
some good competition.
you
Yeah.
do, and it's not, it's a blessing and it's beauty because kids get to see other teams they've never seen before
Yeah.
or have never played in years, But it also shows me where we're going to be at as we start our season.
Yes.
But a lot of conditioning. When I tell you the goal this season is to kind of get up and down the court to transition will really be our thing.
Yeah.
That's what I want it to be, and I want them to understand that if you want to play with the best, you got to play against the best,
Yeah.
and compete.
Well, a lot of high school basketball, is transition.
Yes.
How you transition.
Mm-hmm.
I always talk about my team. Those first three steps
Woo!
they gotta get you to half court.
Ne-
If you're really running,
yes.
your first three steps,
Steps.
you got to be at half court.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're at the rim
Yep.
or it doesn't matter if you're at the 3 point line. You
You
got to
got to
get to
get
half
there.
court, and by the volleyball line, that 10 foot
Mm-hmm.
line past half court, your hips
Mm-hmm.
got to be turned, and you got to be
Mm-hmm.
communicating,
Mm-hmm.
visual and physical.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Who's got it? Where are you in relation to that ball?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, it's that. If you don't, man.
But Nick, do you see the amount of detail in that? When you have freshmen coming up, you have to be. We're teaching so much.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be that detail oriented so they understand. I could see everything you just. I could see it.
Yeah.
They have to be able to see it, visualize it, and then be able to do it. But the teaching it takes for the game, I'm realizing, especially now with kids nowadays, you have to really teach them the game. And everybody plays 1-on-1. Okay, I'm more get out there 5-on-5 because it's team ball, but teaching the game, first three steps, understanding what that looks like. When you get past half court, you turn your hips.
Yeah.
Which way are you turning? Everything matters when you're teaching the game.
Everything.
Everything matters with that.
Everything.
But
And your delivery of it. Your
yes,
delivery of it. Um,
yes.
because, don't get me wrong, you can see talent at 8th grade.
Oh yes.
You can see absolutely that she's got the tools that's going to help you later on in your
Mm-hmm.
program. You want to continue to see her grow in those areas,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
it's a difference between playing 8th grade ball and then coming in and playing a senior.
Man, it's
And
seasoned.
that senior may not be as talented as you, as tall as you, as fast as you, as strong as you,
But experience.
but her experience,
Yes.
her cerebral,
Yes.
her poise,
Nick, yes.
man, that's
Yes.
something totally different.
Yes.
And then the speed of the game is different too.
Yes, it's faster.
A lot faster. Now there's a few exceptional freshmen. I got a couple freshmen that's gonna help us right away this year.
Mm-hmm.
One that'll start this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But even having conversations with her about how's first couple workouts.
Mm-hmm.
She was cool about the track stuff. She was cool about the lifting stuff. Excited about it. Got moved to a top class in the lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Great, awesome. That's overjoying me because the
Mm-hmm.
weight room is the fastest way to get better.
There you go.
Okay, we start talking about on the court, and we're literally just teaching defense, transition,
Uh-huh.
and small. We're doing small game concepts, and then they
Mm-hmm.
play
Mm-hmm.
with using those concepts.
Yes.
That's the goal. Use the concept you learn, put it in your play, but play freely.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't be a robot.
Yeah.
You're not going to be ready to play in college if you can't take some structure
Mm-hmm.
and then see the opportunities in that structure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She said it's fast, coach.
Mm-hmm.
She said it's faster than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, this is not summer ball.
No.
This ain't summer ball.
No.
And I said, what you have to understand is this is just the beginning,
Yes.
because after your first couple games, sweetheart, and people see how great you are,
Yes. Yep. It's like
other
get on
coaches
it.
are gonna see it too.
Yes.
They gonna see that film.
They plan for it.
They gonna plan for it.
Yeah.
They gonna plan for to make the game hard for
Harder.
you,
Yep.
to take away your A and B move,
Mm-hmm.
to take away your first and second read.
Mm-hmm.
Then what will you do?
Right.
And she goes, so what do I do? I said, you watch the film that I sent you.
There you go.
Just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about your film. Okay, tell me about
Mm-hmm.
film, because that's a big thing. That's a big conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big struggle
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of coaches
Uh-huh.
to get their kids into the film.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to try to help your kids with film?
So at college, I will say film was a lot easier
Yeah,
because you're with your position coaches.
yeah,
You're doing film before when you do individual work, then you're doing film as a team. So last year we watched a lot of film before games. This was the timing of it. Me coming in August, it was like you're trying to get so much taken care of.
yeah.
This year,
This is your first real off season.
Yes.
No. So yeah. So
yes.
you're able to put really what you
oh
want. Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. That's exciting.
It is, but also once again, the structure has got to be intentionally right.
Yeah.
And what's being so young, we're teaching how to look at film, what to look for in film,
Yeah.
the breakdown. I can even see now who's watching film. How much film are you just letting it roll? You're not paying attention, or you get up for a couple minutes and then get off. You know, I'm showing them all that so they understand the importance of film because it doesn't lie. But this season our goal is to watch as much as we can. But every practice will be intentional with film.
Got you.
So I'm recording practice of film of us.
Yes.
Along with the film we're about to go up against regarding our competitors. You know, but my assistant coaches are so good. They're breaking down film actually right now.
That's awesome.
You know, preparing for it. But just making sure each person or each team we have we're going up against, what to look for, positions, who's doing what, who's gone, who's here. Just being intentional about everything we're doing with film. But our goal is to watch at least every day, if not every other day, so they understand what to look forward to and who we're about to play. We're so young, and there's a beauty in that. I keep saying because there's a beauty in that, having a young team. What we're doing now will help for years to come.
Got you.
You know, I'm bringing in like 10 freshmen. So
10 freshmen.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
It is. That's what I'm saying. So
yes.
Talking about the teaching of, you come from 8th grade, high school is different.
Yes.
You know, and when you're doing, we could say 4A, 3A, but the level of competition you're playing plays a role in that too.
Do you chop film?
Yes, we do. Chop it. We edit it. I'm always looking at it. My sister's probably more proficient in it, I will say, with Huddle.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, you know, who at least top 6 players are, if not,
right.
What their A, B, and C type moves are, what they're looking to do. But it doesn't lie. I'll say that.
I feel like chopping film has been the biggest help for me. Chopping it, and I draw arrows on my film.
Yes.
I use it to draw what their vision is at, what they're looking at. This year I'm implementing a little cap cut.
Okay.
Which I didn't before last year. I just drew lines myself. But this year I'm definitely doing that because it's the space that they live in. Social media is the space that they live in.
Yes.
So if I can format it
to where
it looks like a TikTok
yes.
I'm gonna have you scrolling.
So Nick, that's what I'm trying to do. Man. I hope y'all listening.
I'm trying to format my film to look like a TikTok roll, and that includes overlaying it with music.
Oh wow!
Just light music, maybe just the beat of a really, really good song that's a song that's really popular.
Yeah.
So now that they want to flip through it, and then so in the caption, it's a question, and I need you to comment. Nick. I need you to comment. Now I have your view of what you see.
Yes.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Now I can see exactly how you're processing the game. Because if I can see the game through your eyes, it'll better help me serve you. What my point guard and what my wing sees in live action is never the same. And I try to tell my kids this, the communication part is so big on the floor.
Yes.
What we have worked on this year is more of, when you teach something new, I've been taking more time to be intentional when I'm teaching something new. So we've been focusing on defense too, and just correct functional movement defensively. So I took this drill that we used to do at Butler University when I was there. We used it running camps, and You got 500 kids, and you got to get them all doing a defensive warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm yelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hinkle, so you got to yell. I got a
Yeah.
big voice. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So you yelling what the kids are doing, and they're locked in.
Mm-hmm.
They're excited. They're these high school girls.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was, okay, your effort in this drill is going to be determined by the leader that's running the drill and teaching that particular concept
Mm-hmm.
at the moment, and her ability to communicate with you, and to do a regroup, which is everybody come in.
Right.
She talked to everybody, not just about what's going on in the drill, about what it needs to look like to get what they want. They all want to play in college.
Mm-hmm.
So if Providence is sitting right here, if Notre Dame is sitting
Mm-hmm.
right here, if Butler is sitting right here, if
Mm-hmm.
Marion is sitting right here, if uh, whoever,
Mm-hmm.
big or small school, why you Kokomo
Mm-hmm.
sitting right here?
Right.
What do you look like to that coach that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know you?
Mm-hmm.
That's only got this visual roster in their hand.
Right.
Is she gonna write some notes down that's gonna say, I need to keep looking at this kid, or is she gonna flip to the next page? And it's just a
Ooh.
simple drill of just a warm-up drill. But I'm talking into the ear of this particular player that's facing the team,
Mm-hmm.
demonstrating and leading it. And she is asking them to give her the energy we
Mm-hmm.
need to win.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now you're accepting what somebody asking of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're giving instruction,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's different. So every part of the drill, I pick a different person.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
she's just doing fire feet. They're just doing,
Mm-hmm.
chopping your feet in a defensive stance. This was doing rebounding. She's just doing rebounding. This was doing slapping the floor and actually saying
Mm-hmm.
defense,
Mm-hmm.
which is important. What if my defense is a little weird. We force a team down one side of the floor, we're in this defense, and come down the
Mm-hmm.
other side of the floor, we're in this defense. But that's all dictated by how we play in ball, not by me calling it out.
So they already know
But if they don't communicate that,
that. Yes. Yes.
you could be in transition, didn't see
Mm-hmm.
that the pass came down this side because you running
Mm-hmm.
in transition. Maybe you was the person that just tried to take a charge and you just had to get up and run back. You
Mm-hmm.
ain't see it. So now I got a vocal too. Give me a vocal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That type of communication is something that this generation, I don't think they know how important it is.
Yes.
You can be out of place and somebody talk about it and fix it.
Yeah. Right away. Right
Fix it,
away. So Nick, I hearing you say that, so I get excited about learning new things. I'm like a lifelong learner, of course, like you are. And when it comes to, because you're such a seasoned, proficient coach. What I mean by that is, you have made so many mistakes that now your thought process is just different from
Yeah,
everybody
bro. A lot of
else.
mistakes, girl. A lot of mistakes.
And I say that not knowing, but I'm saying that because to me, you're one of the most successful coaches because of how you handle your girls, how you deal with your girls, how you teach your girls.
Yeah.
That's what success looks like to me in the game that we're in.
Yeah.
I'm asking this question because you make me want to be a better coach. What would you have done differently, or even going back to your second year to now where you're at now? How would you have done things different that could have maybe catapulted you somewhere else, somewhere different as far as
I
within
think
your
of
team? You talking about breaking it down, TikToking it, and do you know how you will catch your player's eye seeing that visual? Because now it's the same what they're already seeing.
So I'm implementing more this year. So last year, what I did, I felt like last year was a rough year for us.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people in the ears of your
Yes.
children
Yes.
and in the ears of the family of your children, or people who have an influence over your children,
Mm-hmm.
not for always the benefit of the child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And because parents don't see the TikToks that we're making for our
Uh-huh.
kids, or how we're structuring practice so it's more
Yes,
conducive
sir.
for the
Uh-huh.
child, how you're modifying certain parts of your system to help the weakness of this kid or that
Mm-hmm.
kid, how you communicate with her on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Because the transfer portal in high school
Yeah.
is a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Yeah.
I lost a kid. I lost a couple kids in the last few years, but specifically one that really, really, it hurt me because this kid's family was being promised A, B, and C from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I love that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like she my own little, like,
Mm-hmm.
and her sister. Her sister
Mm-hmm.
is also a part of our coaching family. Anyways, make a long story short, um, but they were lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we try to tell them the truth. We
Mhm.
try to tell them, hey, this is how this transfer thing works.
Mhm.
This is what it's gonna look like. This is what you don't have to fight, and
Mhm.
it's not in your favor.
Mhm.
Lost a kid,
Mhm.
great athlete, great
Mhm.
player. Now she's not even playing ball, and she averaged a double double for 4A basketball.
Wow.
Cold. I mean, she's just a cold but a killer. But when we talk about the development and holding them accountable and allowing them to struggle, that was a hard thing for her family.
Mhm.
It was a hard thing to see her struggle, but she
Mhm.
needed that to continue to grow, right?
Mhm.
16 coaches have hit me up this summer about this
Oh
kid.
my
16.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Of the 16, 9 of those coaches have money for her for school. She don't want to play.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard.
Yes.
Okay. So we talk about what will I do different? What would I do
Mhm.
different? Last year, with all those kids, in the last couple of years, deciding I'm going someplace else, I've opened my doors of my gym.
Mhm.
Once a month, we have an open practice.
Mhm.
And I make sure it's the hardest practice of that month.
Mhm.
Because I
Ooh.
want you to see the real in your kid.
Mhm.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want you to
Mhm.
hear exactly how I talk to her, how I
Mhm.
address her, how I hold her accountable. I use analogies just like you would use at home. If I ask you to do the dishes
Mhm.
when I get home and those dishes aren't done, but you ask me to go to the mall or ask me
Right.
for some money or
Right.
ask me to go to the movies, I'm not inclined to really give you that
Right.
opportunity.
Right.
So if I ask you
Mhm.
to take a charge, if I ask you to rotate
Mhm.
on defense, if I ask you to not take this shot and take the one dribble pull up because that's where you're proficient at right now, but you're taking a step back three, and so then I say, okay, you cannot shoot threes anymore because
Mhm.
you have not done what I've asked you to do.
Right. Right.
It's the same thing, but people don't relate it till they see it.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
this kid's playing over that kid.
Mhm.
Why is that kid playing on my kid can handle the ball way better? You are
Uh-huh.
absolutely right. But this kid beats your kid in every
Every
single
single
drill.
thing. Yep.
Every single drill.
Yep.
I'm
They don't
talking.
see that.
I'm talking about 1-on-1. So there's actually defense in front of you. I'm talking
Mhm.
about 5-on-0. I'm talking
Mhm.
about just a sprint.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm talking about talking. I can trust that kid
Mhm.
without being as talented as your kid
Because the work.
because of her work.
Yep.
I'm pulling back the curtain.
Mhm.
I want you to see your kid struggle.
Yep.
I talked about how I was going to define struggle for our team this year by
Mhm.
using the sea turtle. Okay,
Mm.
a mother sea turtle
Mhm. Woo, Nick. That's what I'm saying.
crawls
Oh
up
my
on the beach,
gosh.
right? Crawls up on
Uh-huh.
the beach, a specific beach,
Mhm.
finds a nest location that offers multiple things. It needs to be a certain depth. It needs
Mhm.
to be far enough from the tide so it isn't washed away,
Mhm.
and far enough inland that it gets some shade at certain times of the day
Mhm.
so the nest doesn't cook. Lays 100 eggs or however many eggs, a lot
Right.
of eggs,
Yeah.
right? Leaves, buries
Uh-huh.
it, leaves, goes back to the ocean, knowing that she has provided shelter,
Shelter. Man.
food,
Nick,
hydration,
that is
temperature,
insane.
and leaves that child to develop on its own. Okay. When the eggs hatch, they all hatch around the same time. So at the same time, underground, in the dark, when nobody can see them, with no light and no oxygen, not only do you have to find your way to the surface, you are fighting in a crab barrel.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
race to get to air. And I imagine that there's not a bunch of oxygen when sand is in your face. So you're probably holding your
Your
breath
breath.
while you climbing out of sand, fighting gravity with your siblings
Oh my
just to
God.
get
Some air.
out of the nest.
Yeah. Out of the nest some air.
I imagine that holding your breath that long and having that fight is the equivalent of you fighting currents in the ocean
Yeah.
and holding your breath underwater
Yeah.
and having to hunt.
Nick,
And
that.
okay, so now I'm at the surface, right?
Mhm.
I'm actually at the surface. I
Mhm.
have to navigate the beach
Mhm.
and find the ocean where I want to go. I can hear it. I can see it. I can't touch it. I got social media. I can see
See it.
college ball.
Uh-huh.
I hear about all the great things, NIL, all these other
Mhm.
opportunities, but I haven't touched it yet.
Mhm.
But I'm fighting not only to get there, But past my siblings, we in a race.
Mhm.
And this race includes the predators that's all around our kids, that's in the
Mhm.
parents' ears,
Ooh.
that want something from their child, that wants a part of that NIL money because they see the promise in their kids. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna be a connector for y'all.
Mhm.
A lot of people been using that term lately.
Mhm.
I'm a connector. I'm not really an agent. I'm just kind of I
Mhm.
set this player with that coach.
Mhm.
Vultures.
Mhm.
You're the predators.
Mhm.
Now there are some good people out there who are trying to
Yeah.
do good things, but there's some other people that's got their own motives, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you're navigating lizards and birds and crabs, all these things that
Mhm.
want to kill
Yeah.
you, trying to get from the nest to the ocean, and you got to crawl on your own over sticks and logs and rocks and sand and navigating all these predators just to get to the water
Yeah.
where you have to swim
Swim.
to survive. And once you get there, it's a whole other set of
Right.
predators there.
I'm ready to get
What
you.
I have
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
is allow the parents to observe that struggle
Mhm.
and be a part of that struggle, but not prepare the path.
Mhm.
Don't move the rocks and the sticks, and don't
Mhm.
help them dig out of the nest,
Mhm.
and don't swat away the predators. Teach them how to navigate the predators
Mhm.
and to keep harden their shell a little bit to
Ooh.
protect them from those pecks and pulls and attacks from the outside, and let them keep focused on the tide in front of them, the
Mhm.
horizon in front of them.
Mhm.
Don't clear the path for the child. Prepare the child for the path.
Path. Say it
That's
again,
what,
Nick.
don't clear the path for the child. Prepare the child for the path.
Yep. That's exactly what we're
Because
doing.
you're not going to be present all
Yeah.
the time. I'm not going to be present all the
Yep.
time. Mom and daddy not going to be present all the time.
Yep.
When you in front of Kim Mulkey or Dawn
Mhm.
Staley or Gina
Mhm.
Oriyama and they in your kids about doing the right things, about
Mhm.
being on time to class, about being early to practice,
Yep.
about wearing the right things,
Yep.
about representing the program the right way,
Yep.
about making a layup, about
Mhm.
getting to the gym without you, about
Mhm.
nutrition,
Mhm.
about sleep, about body maintenance.
Mhm.
No, you're not going to be there to hold their hand. She
Mhm.
has to swim
Mhm.
through the currents of college basketball,
Mhm.
hopefully professional basketball,
Mhm.
on her own
Or oh.
as a 18 to 22-year-old young
Mhm.
woman.
Mhm.
Ain't never paid insurance,
Right,
no
none of that,
bills,
none of that,
nothing. You
nothing.
know, like,
I ain't cooking none of that.
so if you hold her hand and you clear the path now,
Yeah,
how do you expect her to survive
when she gets
the
out there.
ocean? Her muscles ain't been developed climbing over them rocks and stuff
Mhm.
on the beach for her to swim through these currents of the ocean,
Mhm.
the tides and the hurricanes that's coming.
Mhm.
Because you're trying to make it easy for her. Allow your child to struggle
Nick, that's huge. That you just preached the
with a
whole
watchful
sermon.
eye. So I'm allowing them to have the watchful
Ooh.
eye in my practice to hear what I'm putting them through.
Mhm.
So when she come home and she tell you she can't sit down and she gonna catch a Charlie horse, you
Mhm.
understand why
Why?
and that it's necessary.
Mhm.
But we
Mhm.
too busy. We too busy
Mhm.
preparing the path, coach. I'm just being honest, man. We love our
Yeah.
kids. We
Yeah.
love our children.
Yeah.
Prepare
Mhm.
your child for the path. Do
Mhm.
not clear the path for the child. It's not gonna help them.
No, that's almost as if, and their parents get them. They don't want their child to fail,
Yeah.
but we have to allow them to, especially in our profession, to understand the importance of it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that Nick, you just preached the whole sermon right there.
I'm just being honest.
No, but do you understand? That's it's the life.
Yes.
Once they're done playing ball and they graduate and all that good stuff, the tools we've given them for the path, it just transcends. It doesn't change. They get stronger, yes, but just providing that for them makes them better as they get older. It just is. I don't think people understand the importance of sports in general, what it does for your life.
Right.
You know, we're just preparing you for life. You know,
I
that was deep. That was deep.
I used to question, am I being too hard?
Yes.
Especially because I'm a male coaching young women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ever break
Mm-hmm.
any child, man or woman. I
Yeah.
don't ever want to break a child because
Mm-hmm.
I've coached men too. But a woman is strong,
Mm-hmm. We are.
is powerful,
We are.
is, I mean, y'all have, y'all have a quality that we don't have as men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you also got this jelly bean type shape. You got this
Mm-hmm.
hard outer shell, but inside
Mm-hmm.
you're really mush, right? You
Mm-hmm.
really soft. And I have to make sure not to break the shell.
Chill.
I have to make sure to nurture her as
Yeah.
well as Be honest
Mhm.
with her.
Mhm.
You know, the worst thing a man can do to a woman is lie to her.
Mhm.
I gotta tell you the truth.
Mhm.
I gotta tell you the truth. You
Mhm.
might be mad at me right now.
Mhm.
You know, I gotta tell you the truth. You know, if I tell you that the stove is hot, don't touch the stove.
Mhm. Ooh. You do it anyway. Go
You're gonna
ahead.
do it
Uh huh.
anyway. I have to be honest with you and say, hey, look, I know you touched the stove.
Mhm.
Okay, let's not go back and do that
Right.
again. You know, but
Right.
sometimes you need to,
Mhm.
because you need to see it yourself, right?
Mhm.
You ever had a baby walking around you? Okay, here's a table. You ever have a baby? And the table, let's pretend the table got four
Uh
corners.
huh. All right. Right.
You have a baby just learning how to walk. I'm just learning how to hoop.
Mhm.
I just got to high school. I'm trying to figure it out, coach. Trying to figure it out. Let me do this move, coach, because it's
Right.
my move, coach.
Right. Right.
I'm trying to figure it out. And you see the corners of the table,
Yeah.
and they're oblivious to the danger that's there because to
Mhm.
their eyes, it's just a table. It's
Mhm.
just basketball.
Mhm.
Okay. So as a parent, we want to put our hand over the corner when they walk by it, so they
Right.
don't hit their head.
Right. But
So they hit your hand, and
yeah.
there's a. But if that kid one time hits the corner of that table,
Yeah.
she gonna hurt.
Yeah.
She gonna be in pain. But I guarantee you, the next time she walk around that corner,
She gonna
she gonna be
look.
very aware.
She gonna look.
She
Yeah.
gonna be
Very.
very
Yeah.
aware of what that
Yep.
corner did to her, what it looked like. So we gotta let them
Yep.
sometimes.
Well, and even in how we deal with whether it's our children, our players, I think last year I learned the hard way that I can't talk to every player the same.
Oh, and they think you
Yeah.
being favorites, coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, speak on that. Come on, speak on
Well,
that.
just I mean, just part of that comes from too how some of the kids are raised.
Yeah.
Some kids you can't yell at.
No.
Some kids you have to talk to. Some kids might need more one on one.
Yeah.
You just talked about you walk with your player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
We had
saying?
to have a personal conversation.
But she may have needed that where another child may feel like she's being singled out. So go back to that relationship part of knowing your kids.
Yeah.
Some kids you can get on and yell at and it fires them up. Where some it's like, oh no, that's much of a threat, but just like you're coming, like I can't take that, but just learning your kids and understanding the importance of how to deal with your kids, which also means the importance of loving your kids in a manner where they understand who you are, but just still understand how they are, and we have a freshman class, like I have one. My goal, especially now in preseason, is to figure out and learn my kids.
Yeah.
Situation we had with playing a team, and one of my players who doesn't say much got frustrated and just like slammed the ball down.
Woo!
And to the average eye, you would have got angry, like, why are you?
Yeah.
But I was excited because I got some type of
You
emotion out
got
of
something
her.
out of
Yeah,
it.
and it was like, yes, you got it. I know
Yes.
what you can do now,
Yeah.
But because I'm learning this player, I'm understanding this player, it let me know, okay, I got to keep building with this player because she's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to be able to talk to her in a way I can get to her.
But that emotion show you she cares.
Yes. And when I see that, I was okay. So I started smiling, and parents were like, why are you smiling? You should be. No. You don't see what I'm seeing. And that's the difference too when you haven't coached as a parent compared to coaching. What we're trying to see and get out of our kids is different compared to what you think or expect.
Right.
Which goes back to I can't please the parents.
Man.
What's the betterment of the program, of the kids, but
I've had a really hard time with that, coach, because it's like God has given you a vision as a coach to serve the child.
Man.
So it's not your job. It's not your job to explain that service to the parent because it's for the child. Now, it is your job to still serve the family.
Yep.
Because they are trusting you with that child.
Yes.
But I can't explain my vision to the parent because the vision for child A and child B might be two different visions.
Ones. Yep.
Child A might have a stable household, emotionally, socioeconomically,
Yep.
both parents in the
Yes.
household. Child B may not have either parent.
Yep.
May have one parent. May come from an impoverished background.
Yes.
May come from a background of a great privilege, but the home is still broken. I got to reach them two differently.
Yes.
Differently. I have to speak to them differently.
Yeah.
I have to relate the game to them differently.
Yes.
I have to speak in the terms that they understand in their day-to-day life.
Yep.
I heard Teresa Witherspoon speak in the coaching conference, and she talked about Miyagi and the drill. And the big thing about Mr. Miyagi was his teachings were, they were life lessons that he taught in the
Mm-hmm.
karate.
Mm-hmm.
That this is a lifestyle. And
Mm-hmm.
they say ball. They
Ooh.
say ball is life.
I need a notepad. If you
Hey,
giving
I'm
out to
just
me,
saying.
Jim, I can't write it
Don't worry,
down,
we got an
man.
ebook coming for you guys for today's
Gosh,
talk. Don't worry,
that is huge.
So put in the comments, Miyagi the drill, Miyagi. Let's put Miyagi in the comments
Yes,
if you want the ebook with your email. And
it's huge.
just being able to relate it to their everyday life
Mm-hmm.
as a different individuals is super important because you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
reach every kid the same.
Right,
You know, she
right.
she may not be listening to you. You talk to her about something she don't
Seriously.
understand.
Yep.
I'm from the ghettos of Chicago. I can
Mm-hmm.
talk about a lot of other things that some kids that have privilege will never understand. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know what curveball is, coach. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand playing in the alley on a backboard that's made
Yes.
out of plywood and a milk carton
Yep.
crate that you didn't kick the bottom out of. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So let's get to this last little segment. If you could help us uh, get someone on here that's also gonna impart something into the coaching community, into the basketball community for
Mm-hmm.
parents and players, who would be the next coach you think I should interview for an opportunity like that to just kind of have a real conversation about the game?
Oh wow. I would say Deanne Ramey.
Love
Deanne
Coach
Ramey.
Ramey.
She another mentor of mine, a woman
Yes.
who loves the game and loves women and empowerment, but also in basketball.
Yes.
I think she would be a phenomenal one because she's been in the game for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she actually was, I think, the first female coach at Richmond.
Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I found that out, I instantly called her, and we've been great from so long. And I would also say, this is a great question. Wow. Hmm.
Doesn't have to be a basketball coach. It
Anybody.
could be anybody. We're trying to empower the
Mm-hmm.
coaching community and
Mm-hmm.
also kind of give insight to parents and players on how to navigate,
Mm-hmm.
basketball or whatever sport that they're in.
Right.
So
I think she would be just a good one to start off with
yes,
because she's been around long enough. And then I would also say Stacey Mitchell.
yes, Coach Mitchell,
Coach
yeah,
Mitchell, he
Coach
is
Mitchell,
awesome.
yes,
And he is so open. Everybody knows Coach Mitchell. Everybody loves Coach Mitchell.
yeah,
But just
yes,
he's good with when it comes to the teaching and explaining the kids.
mm-hmm.
With regards to the sport,
Right.
understanding the girls. He's done it for so long, and his background and what it's just those would be two great ones. I would definitely start off
All
with.
right. So the rules are
Uh-huh.
you got to help us get them on here. You
Okay,
got to
cool. We
help us
can do
get them on
that.
the
We can do
pod. You
that.
got to
We
help
can
me
do that. We
on
can
the
definitely do
pod.
that. Oh
They're both
yeah.
also friends of mine.
There you
So
go. Okay.
but sometimes you have two or three
Yes.
people. Hey, you got to be involved in this. It's just something
Yes.
special. And
Mm-hmm.
again, we want to be there for people.
Mm-hmm.
I want this to be able to help as
Mm-hmm.
many people as I can and serve them as many people. I give them real insight
Mm-hmm.
and have them send us questions.
Mm-hmm.
Another segment we're having is anonymous coaching questions.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
Questions for coaches to ask us how we navigate,
Huge.
whether it be parent interaction with the coaches, whether it be building a feeder program, whether it
Mm-hmm.
be what does your preseason look like. These things that we can answer live with our guests
Mm-hmm.
about how we individually have navigated those spaces
Mm-hmm.
in our programs
Mm-hmm.
and experience in the game. Last question, Coach.
I'm sorry, and also
Oh,
my bad. Fonzo White would be another one as well.
Fonzo, yeah,
Fonzo
Fonzo,
White, new
yeah,
head coach of Taylor High School, that'd be awesome.
yes, yeah.
But
Head coach, congratulations, coach is
yes,
going into his first year at Taylor.
yep,
You know, yeah, Fonzo, he got some energy. He gonna bring
yeah.
some
There you
energy.
go.
Yeah, he got some
He
energy.
gonna
He
give
gonna
you
bring
that.
some
There you
energy.
go. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
last segment is called Hindsight's 2020.
Woo.
Hindsight's 2020. So, I wish I knew this then.
Uh huh.
I wish I knew this when I was a player or a
Mhm.
coach. Give me your top thing you wish you hindsight 2020. You looking back at it,
Mhm.
you know.
Hindsight 2020. I wish I would have leaned more on my community.
Mm.
Looking back, going through my first season
As a coach,
as a coach,
leaning on other coaches.
get other coaches.
That's a scary thing for coaches.
It is because you don't intentions.
Yes. Yes.
What can you get?
Uh-huh.
There's a lot that goes into that.
Or a lot. Unfortunately.
Yes.
Unfortunately, some coaches are very. What does this look like if I help you?
Yes.
Are you going to get a leg up on me
yes.
if I help you?
Yes.
Continue.
I I wish I would just lean on my community more, my mentors more for advice, how to go about it, not being so guarded and not wanting to reach out because of that,
Right.
and just doing it regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
Because I think I didn't give myself enough grace coming in first year, August, didn't get a summer, 6 seniors who had 3 coaches in the last 4 years, emotions and I was trying to build as I was flying. And it was just me and my 2 assistants navigating it, but never quitting.
Yeah.
So leaning on, your mentor, because there are people out there that really want to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's not shown more.
There are some really good coaches
Yes.
who want to help,
Yes.
especially here in Indiana. Indiana basketball.
Oh, it's
Everybody talk
different.
about it is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Chicago, grew up in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
played some travel AAU ball in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. But when you talk about the detail,
Oh my gosh,
the structure,
yeah,
even just the way that we approach the game,
yes,
from a holistic standpoint,
yes,
you can find wisdom from everyone
everybody
that you meet.
Mm-hmm.
Every single coach in Indiana understands the importance
Mm-hmm.
of how you teach the game
Mm-hmm.
and the lessons that go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you said, some are more guarded than others, which
Mm-hmm.
I want to change. I would like to
Mm-hmm.
have a better community
Mm-hmm.
for that. We have IBCA and
Right.
everything like
Yes.
that, but outside of conventions
Mm-hmm.
and looking for
Mm-hmm.
opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
there isn't really a lot of conversation
Mm-hmm.
that deal with the minutia, that
Yes.
deal with the details
Yes.
of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we touched on a lot of things today, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some more we got to talk about.
There is.
I got to bring you back.
There you
back,
go.
come back and we'll circle back and talk about some more things for
Yes.
sure. But I appreciate you coming. And
Mm-hmm.
I thank you all for tuning in. We hope to see you again. If you would like to get some more information, please type in the chat Miyagi or leave your email in the chat, and we'll be great. Or you can send me a direct message as well. That works too, and I will reach out to you. Have the team reach out to you. And thank you again. All right,
you,
Coach.
Appreciate you, baby.
From the court to the classroom, coaching takes many forms. Team huddles and game strategies are key. Passionate coaches inspire their players. Practicing drills is essential for improvement, even off the field. Teamwork matters. Celebrating achievements together strengthens bonds. The dedication of coaches extends beyond just sports. Coaching can be a rewarding career path. Sharing your love for basketball with others. My coaching is my ministry. Powerful words. Check out the Coaching Minutia podcast.